Mr. Luke and Josh, here right on time.
Hi, Mr. Dennis. Hmm.
Well, we're gonna get started because I'm gonna repurpose this to all kinds of other things. Let me just get it
Okay.
to Josh. Good. That's the beauty of these things. You can repurpose all of them. If people show up live or not, doesn't matter. So the content's good, people are gonna like it. Hit 1,000 subs on this YouTube channel from 2 months ago.
Congratulations.
If you know what's even better than that, getting 100 new customers in 100 days. And this is off of YouTube and Facebook. So check this out. Marco and I made a ton of videos in the last 2 days here in Vegas at this conference for HVAC people. And you can see that just yesterday, we had our booth here, HVACquote.ai, with some of these legends in the world of HVAC. And we made videos, we took pictures, all that kind of stuff to show real EEAT. I even clowned on the competitor that raised $3 million and no one's even at their booth here. You can see that. They even mentioned that. And these other folks who are a big deal in HVAC and home services were there, and we made videos, had food with them. We had a bunch of whiteboard videos, which we recorded on the camera, but I took some B-roll off my phone while we were recording these videos. These were all shot raw. And here's an example of one of them. And I want you to listen very carefully to how we start these videos. It always starts with who it is and why it's important and what the result is.
Floors from Tampa has
Here
been
we go.
Floors from Tampa has been able to keep his 3 crews busy using this system. Or even Barney Garage, coming from the garage door business, has been able to close an additional $28,000 per month in additional revenue for his company. The Coding Launch system is a done-for-you program where we run paid advertising for concrete coating companies across the country. If you want to see how this can work for your company, click the link below and I'll show you how it works.
That's the video that generates new customers. This video has generated new customers in the last 24 hours. And this other company that I was just showing you raised $3 million. They've been alive for 4 years. I think they have 30 customers, maybe 40 customers. We're at double what they are. Just off of doing this, raising no money. Here's another agency, Punch List Digital. They're huge in automotive. And they're also in HVAC now. And we did an interview with them. I guess they could be a competitor, maybe. But not really, because why not, right? There's no one who's a true competitor if you look at it in terms of information sharing and showing who you're connected to. And there's this guy who is super well known in HVAC. He runs Clover Growth Partners. It's Ken Moskovitz. Then this guy has an HVAC company out of LA. And he's followed us for years. He's bought the digital plumbing thing. He's gone through all the big agencies. He hired, who was it? Chris Yano, who's got, I don't know how big his agency is, 10, $20 million that does a bunch of HVAC and whatnot. And then this guy, so this guy, right? He runs an HVAC company. And he was so unhappy with the results of his site that he found the booth of his SEO agency, who's this guy, My Biz Niche. And I think the name of this client, let's see, what was the agency? Atlas Service Champions. Yeah, Service Champions. All right, check this out. They're big. 6,400 reviews. Huge, right? But if you look at their website, there's not a lot going on. And we looked at the SEO and where it came from, and also looked at the agency, My Biz Niche. It's hilarious. So this guy,
Yeah.
brought his agency over because they all have booths at this thing, right? And I said, well, I can't even find you guys. I can't even find the owner, this guy who's the founder of this agency that does SEO. And I look at what they rank on. Look at this. Why is it when you see a lot of agencies that build websites, they have a high domain rating, so there's a lot of links coming in, but they rank on nothing? Why is that? It's because it's juice that's parasitically sucked out of all their clients. And then all they rank on is position 8, website design Phoenix, and their name, which has no traffic and no competition. They have nothing going on. And yet they claim to be SEO this and SEO that. I mean, we can do this all day long. It's not even worth looking at. It's a dime a dozen when you see this, right? So here's the main point that I'm making. There's a ton of videos and pictures of us doing what we're doing. And, Lace.ai raised a ton of money. So Marco's running ads for them with him in it, because these Lace.ai people are not even making videos of their own stuff because they need a spokesperson. They're afraid to make videos. Almost all you guys are afraid to make videos, right? Well, the young adults tend not to be. But here we are. And so what did they raise? $12 million. So now they're happy to spend tons of that money on videos that have me or other folks in them. So we're getting free brand exposure and they're getting leads. Then we clown the Eden guys again. There's nothing there. I tag them and I tag some of these other guys on Instagram and they liked it. And I think they shared my story. They don't even realize what's going on. Marco flew out his salesperson, this girl, Alex. I interviewed her for 3 minutes and 24 seconds. And, we did a bunch of these little videos. Anyway, you can see there's a ton of these. We had a whole bunch of videos here that we made 2 days ago. 3 days ago, sorry. Today's October 30th. 3 days ago, in 1 hour, we shot all of these videos. They came off the Sony A7R4. And of course, they're named horribly, like C2708 or whatever the names of these files are. So I said, inside ChatGPT Atlas, which is my default browser, not Chrome, I said, I don't like these titles. Can you just go ahead and rename these videos? And that's what it did. So now it's named Outtake, 3-second false start, or the 3-minute highlight on using our instant quote tool, right? So look, here's an example of one of them. It's pretty good. It's just a raw video.
HVAC companies, you're afraid to show the price online because you think you're going to lose those customers. You think they're going to have sticker shock. You think they're shopping around. You think that it's better to actually get them on the phone or have a technician come out and give an estimate. That way you're going to be able to close them. That is completely false. Because what's going on is they're coming to your website and 98% of them leave because they want to know the price and they're going to a competitor. Just imagine all these people, 98% of all these people use.
That's a first take, right? I called them out in the beginning, HVAC companies, right? So it's very clear. If you're not an HVAC company, and we're talking about HVAC companies trying to make the phone ring, and if you don't have this issue of paying all this money and not getting enough customers off of this, you're not going to stay and watch this video that's 2 minutes and 54 seconds, right? This is running on Facebook and YouTube, and it is generating new customers for HVAC Quote. And you can see that we did a 20-minute video kind of explaining all the different AI tools. See, watch the intro. If it'll play. Why is it not playing? Well, basically I say, hey, HVAC companies, here are the AI tools that you need. And so we go through all of them that they use for scheduling, for operations, for sales ride-alongs, and of course, HVACquote.ai is one of them, but that only comes at the very end. So we've given a ton of value, and only at the very end do we even mention it. So it doesn't even feel like a sales pitch, right? Because it's super helpful. So look at all these videos we made. It took an hour to make all these videos. And then these get repurposed into articles, the whole Content Factory process. And I want to show you today more on YouTube. And so I'm kind of switching back and forth between many channels because we've got a lot of channels here. I mean, some of these have 500,000 subs on them, which is insane. But let's look at HVAC quote, and let's look at this new one, this Dennis Yu one, okay? So I'm going to backtrack, and then I'm going to show you some really cool things. So everyone here should have a YouTube. I don't care if you're like, oh, it's too busy, it's too much effort, or a YouTube, but a podcast are the same thing, okay? You record videos with other people. And when we started out 2 months ago, we had nobody, okay? It's lame when you start out because people, like get 3 views, okay? You got like 5 subscribers, 3 views, you post another one, get 10 views, it sucks. And then you start to build momentum. And then people start looking at your stuff, right? And this is, Mr. Beast talked about this. He started out from nothing and now he's got some crazy number, right? And you might think, like I thought that this video here with Dan Antonelli, this guy's the absolute G. Everyone knows who he is. He's super successful. Tommy bought his company. I thought that was amazing. No one really thought it was any good, right? I thought it was great. And then there was one I made that I still believe is our best content here, which is how do you actually measure SEO, or how do you do the weekly MAA, which all of you guys should be doing. I thought this is great because I go through all the mistakes people are making and I talk about, I thought this was a very very detailed, very compact, knowledgeable thing, right? No one gave a shit. Really sad. And then people want to know, how do you rank on your name? Well, people seem to care about that. And oh, I got ripped off. I paid $20,000 to some guy who built my website and it doesn't do anything. How do I tell? People really care about that, right? So what is the point here? Now we got, 1 out every week where we're like 9 weeks in, 10 weeks in on this thing. What is the point? I'm asking you. Unmute and tell me, what are we to learn from this?
You can't predict which videos are going to do best.
Yeah, you can't predict that. What else?
You can also see what people are more interested in.
Yeah, which isn't what you think is the most interesting.
Right.
And I feel I have enough expertise. I can say that this thing on how do you actually tune and how do you actually optimize by looking at your data, this actually is the right way to do it. This actually is. I can factually say this is the most important video if you want to grow your home service business by looking at the data and all. And this clearly it's factually true, but it's so detailed, people don't want to watch it. It's too whatever. It's like learning math. People don't want to do it. So just because you might think something is good doesn't mean they think it's good. Even if you're right, I'm right. So it's like the whole, is the customer always right kind of question, whatever. That's a philosophical thing. So what happens is that when you compound, where you get more and more people watching and whatnot, this is what happens. So the video that dropped today, because every Thursday it has to drop at the same time, 11 o'clock, Pacific or whatever, 11 Eastern every Thursday. So, and this is, thank you, Dylan. This is scheduling for next Thursday because you can batch 2 or 3 at once, right? I'm wearing the same shirt. I don't think people even care. Okay, so this one, why it's impossible to do AI SEO. Let's take a look. It has 138 views, 15 hours of watch time. And so it's going like this, right? This is normal. This is what you expect to see. And the traffic came from external, which is, I posted it on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube at the same time, which was here 2 hours ago. I said, hey, and you should probably try to make the promo post right when it goes live. If not, you get this delay. So YouTube notices when there's a bump of traffic coming at the same time, not to the same degree social does, because social you get this big bump and then it dies, but YouTube keeps going, as I'll show you in a second. So you'll see like nothing's really happened here, right? But people are seeing it. Just because no one's commenting or whatever doesn't mean no one's watching it, right? So you can see here, insights, you'll see people are looking at it. Oh, look, I earned 32 cents. 42 people liked it, I guess. Okay, great. And it's all dudes for some reason. Well, HVAC is all dudes. Home service is all dudes. It is what it is. Roofers are all dudes, okay? You see any women on the roof? You don't. Okay, so you see, I put the stuff out here and I posted an image, not the link. You put the link in the comments. Why? Because you always do the link in the comments. Because if they leave on the post, then you get dinged, right? So that's why everyone says link in the comments. And you'll see people are engaging on it, and people are engaging on related content, especially when I say Jesus is king. I'm not even ashamed about that now. What is the verse? For I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Christ and all. Okay, if you deny me before the Father. Okay, and you can see these other people are commenting and saying great things. DigiGuide. Oh, DigiGuide's the AI from this is not a VA. This is Facebook's AI. DigiGuide. I don't know why they have this weird thing. Do I approve it? Sure. This guy, we are hiring. Nope, you have to be $1 million agency to be able to post in our group that you're hiring. So we will decline that. Not going to ban him on that. Okay, I posted on LinkedIn. Let's look at that. See, I posted this, the exact same thing. I did not use AI to write this. I find that my headlines, especially like social media captions, are better, I think, than AI's. Rather than going back and forth, I just, whatever. And you can see people are, oh, this guy's sharing with some other guy, whoever this guy is. All right. Okay, so you can see this latest video, 138 views, completely organically. Half of it came from people on Facebook, and it wasn't even mine. So external is probably other people seeing it from someone else sharing it. This is external, means outside of YouTube. And then the rest is, on their homepage or people who subscribe and they see it, and you can see like, it's starting to grow, which is great. YouTube is a search engine and it's a social network. It has dynamic properties of both. All right, so now actually, let me show you a couple things, and then I'm going to show you my big secret. All right, so these videos inside ChatGPT Atlas, this browser, I'm having them turn it into articles. And so when we post stuff to YouTube, we'll just post unlisted. We'll post Zoom calls. We'll post calls like this into YouTube so we can grab the transcription, because ChatGPT is not really able to watch the video. It says it does. It'll watch like 10 seconds, but it won't watch a 20-second video, right? Grok can sort of use the API. We need to use the API for our repurposing the personal brand sites. But check this out. So when content is here and it's unlisted like this, you can easily turn it into other kinds of content, even if and you can see ChatGPT wrote the headlines and descriptions here. So let's see. Which one do we want to take? How about this one? How about this 20-minute one? And this is a huge frustration. I assign to other people. You chase them for weeks and weeks. They don't do anything. Watch this VA this VA we're going to use right now, ChatGPT Atlas. We'll go ahead and get it done. So let's do it. And then I'm going to show you my big YouTube secret. Okay. So this is not bad. I mean, it's factually true. All right. Here's the video. And we grabbed the
service businesses. Today, we're going to talk about the AIs that you need in your business.
And I don't introduce myself or any of that. You always go straight to the point, right? That's how the algorithms is able to show it to the right people, because if the right people engage, and it shows it to more HVAC people. And I show you how we are getting tons of HVAC people watching this and actually they watch these videos for a long time. I'll show you the stats on that in a second. Okay, here's a transcript. And there's all that. Okay. And I could say, you guys should be doing this, by the way. I mean, you should already know how to be using AI in the way we talk about it, but you should be talking to it inside ChatGPT Atlas. I don't have agent mode turned on yet because we're reasoning first. When it's time to work, then we turn on agent mode. If you turn on agent mode now, it'll get confused because it's ready to start working, but then you're asking for reasoning. And it's not smart enough to know when to turn on agent mode. It'll sometimes say, oh, would you like to do agent mode? Okay. So Marco and I did this 20-minute YouTube videos you can see here on the different AI tools that HVAC companies need. Obviously, we want them to use our HVAC quote.ai tool, but we're really trying to be helpful. We don't mention our thing till the very end. You can see this transcript here, and I want to turn this into an article. I think we'll put it on BlitzMetrics.com, because that has more juice than all these other sites. So we'll write it with me as the author, and we'll embed this YouTube video, summarize these key things. Don't make it look like it was written by AI. Make it journalistic, like in the voice of Perry Marshall. And no M dashes or emojis or obvious AI tropes and cliches like it's not this, it's that, which AI does all the time. We don't like that. Make sure you spell Marco's name properly because you get that wrong all the time. And let's have this full of specific details so that it satisfies Google's helpful content algorithm, EEAT, and is actually share-worthy of other HVAC companies. They'll see this and find it super helpful because we're not including any kind of vague AI kind of talk like all these other guys are doing. Go ahead and write that article, and you can see the transcript is on the right side there. I could tell it to think hard, but I don't think that matters in agent mode when you're inside Atlas. And you can't invoke the other models that you've built, which is another limitation. Also, sometimes if you give it too much context, or if you upload a giant transcript, it'll just barf. And it will accept it inside the Chrome browser, but when you do it here, for some reason, it'll say like file too big. We don't know why, right? Okay, so here it is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Isn't it crazy that it watched this 20-minute video kind of, right? It'll lie to you too sometimes because it'll say like, oh yeah, I watched it. I'm like, no, you didn't. Because I'll say, go use our knowledge panel lookup tool and see, who has a knowledge panel and is it claimed or not. It's like, okay, I did it. Like, no, you didn't, because I know you didn't use the tool. I was watching it, right? And some of these things are wrong. Like Rilla is a huge company. They have $1 billion valuation. They're just a wrapper on top of ChatGPT and they, said it the wrong way. RELA. No, it's Rilla, like gorilla, RILLA. So that's a mistake. But this is actually pretty close. It's not bad. So I'll say, I'll go to agent mode. Now notice the difference inside the browser versus what we used to be doing, which is inside ChatGPT or inside the Chrome, and then having to share context. The context is here. So I don't need to tell it that we're watching this video. No, it can tell. It's seeing what I'm doing, right? All right, that's good. Go ahead and make this a blog post on BlitzMetrics.com. You know where to log in. You messed up on Rilla's name. It's RILLA. And you misspelled Marco's name. It's MARKO. Look in the video here. Look at the headline. You look at the title, and you can see how we spell his name. And this is where the magic happens. It starts to think a little bit, but because it's not opening its own computer, it's taking over my browser. And now it realizes like, okay, you can see on the right, it's showing it's thinking, oh, I noticed that I misspelled the thing. I'll fix that. Or it'll say, oh, the user, you can see it's like talking to itself. The user wants to do this. Let's make sure we do a good job and we're thorough and we don't make mistakes, right? So it's going over to BlitzMetrics.com. If I need to log in, I can. But I am logged in. I'm logged in all these other things already. So notice what we used before the last 2 weeks in agent mode, we would have to keep logging in and giving control back, right? What a pain in the ass. I mean, it's helpful, but it's a pain in the ass. But now I don't have to do that. It's taking over this browser and it's going in here and it's making a blog post and it's basically doing stages 2 and 3 of the content factory. So for context, we know that in the 4-stage content factory, there's the raw content, which I showed you we made a ton of on my phone and on the computer. It's processing it, it's posting it, and it can promote it too, which I'm going to show you at the end of today. So AI can handle all of these steps in 2, 3, and 4. All we got to do is show real, raw, actual, authentic content, these moments, okay? This day is finally here. I've been waiting years for this. You guys are seeing it live, okay? And it's going in and doing this. And is the blog post excellent? No, it's probably like a C+. So I say, no, you got to fix this, you got to fix that. And I'm talking to it, voice talking to it, right? It didn't embed the video. It included the link. It should know our article guidelines, right? So why do we publish what we know? Well, A, it's transparency. B, it's learn, do, teach because we practice what we preach. C, it also shows the AI how we do things, which is like another layer of protection. And then D, it shows our community and it trains up all of our other young adults and whatnot on, how to do it. I mean, there's just many reasons why you want to share what you know, the abundance mentality versus scarcity. You can have all sorts of reasons why, okay? There's whatever reason for why you should share what you know and honor other people, because, whatever your reason is, just choose whatever reason to do this. Either way, it's a good thing and it works. Okay, so it's doing this. Now, while this one's working, we see the cursors bouncing. That means it's working. So we'll let it work, right? It'll work for 5 or 10 minutes. You don't want to sit here and watch it work. You don't want to micromanage. You want to come back and look at it later, or, say, oh, I'm done. Okay, well, like a good VA, it's like a $5 an hour VA now. It was a $3 an hour VA 2 weeks ago. I think I'd say it's a $5. I'd give it a raise, Okay, so it's doing some work here. And the right one. Pretty sure it's the right one. Log in. Maybe I'll try the email. Shouldn't matter. Oh, maybe it's my existing WordPress.com password. Hi. Let's go. So who is AJ Wilcox? We can ask so when we ask the AI, it does the ChatGPT answer because it's not Chrome. I'm inside. This is my default browser, right? He's a big deal. If I ask Google, which is where we get the knowledge panel. So why would they show a knowledge panel inside ChatGPT? Okay, this guy. Here's his site. Nothing's going on. It's got no pages on it. All of the tools I like to use, like these SEO tools, are inside Chrome. So that's why I still have Chrome and I have ChatGPT. Now look how many tabs I have. In Chrome, I have, I don't know, 30 tabs, and I have 30 tabs in ChatGPT. I got like 60 tabs going. You thought I was bad before? It's worse now. All right. But I need the SEO stats. So he doesn't really rank on anything. And there's not a lot of trust going on here. DR5 from a few links. I think the links that are giving him that 5 total is probably mine anyway. So let's see here. By the way, we're going to do all of this in an automated way, like 99% automated through local service spotlight. By having these calls recorded where I'm doing it, like it's learning, right? We can push these things to Zoom and it can learn how we do it. Because the idea of learn to teach is we do it first and then the AI learns how to do all of it. Okay. So where are we? Let's go to, okay, we're in ChatGPT Atlas. All right. So all this stuff about him, and we're logged into his HostGator. No, HostGator is garbage. So wait, let's just go back. I think he has like no pages on his website, basically. That's why he doesn't rank on anything. Does he have any pages? He has no pages. He has his own page in My Story, typical of a personal brand website, just a landing page, even though he's made tons of content. Look, if we look at Hinda, which is owned by LinkedIn, look, host of the LinkedIn ad show. This is great. Okay. So where's his LinkedIn ad show? His agency is B2Linked. Let's go to his YouTube. No, it's not. Is that YouTube? No. Where's YouTube? Look at this. He's created all this stuff. Let's go to YouTube. Let's say B2Linked or AJ Wilcox. Okay, where's his thing? 3,800 subscribers, 112 videos. Wow. That's good. Let's look at his top videos. Okay. He's got these short ones, a minute, 4 minutes. I like to take these meatier ones. So let's say the ChatGPT. So we've got control over ajwilcox.com, and he's interviewed a bunch of people on his podcast, as you can see here, this B2LinkedIn ad show. Why don't you grab the 3 most popular videos on his channel that are at least 20 minutes long, so we can repurpose those into articles on ajwilcox.com, which I have open right now in another tab. So obviously don't write like it's AI. Let's make it authoritative. let's link to his agency and to other people that are in his community that you think he would like to link to. So that way he can mention to these other people that, hey, it was such an honor having Rebecca Thornburg on the show, or whoever these other people are. Because when you interview other people on the podcast, you always want to honor that other person as an expert. Okay. So I'm talking to it. And that's going to go to town, right? Now, when it's on a social network like LinkedIn or Facebook or whatever, sometimes it asks me, do you want to do this? Like, yeah, I do. It goes into agent mode, right? It may require you to stay here. So if it forces you to stay here, like you're on Instagram or Facebook, it puts this red border all the way around the outside. And it says, oh, I'll stop working if you leave here. Okay, so then I'll just move over to Chrome. Well, because I don't want to go to another tab here because it'll think I'm not paying attention. It's like your Tesla and self-driving. You put a sandbag on the thing or whatever just to make it think like you're watching, even though you're on your phone while it's driving, right? So now it's doing the stuff. We have this one doing its stuff. That other one, what I had working before, did it already come back? Where's the one I had it? And okay. So you have to be a little ADD to be able to manage 4 or 5 workers at the same time, right? So I'm switching now. Hey, I like the article, but I'd like you to embed the YouTube, not include the link of it there. And let's put the video at the top. Also, let's link to Marco in here in the beginning where we mentioned his name. You've misspelled his name. So look up Marco Cipolla. We have his website. So you can link to marcocipolla.com. And you can also link to HVACquote.ai, which is our company. And you don't have to link to it everywhere. Just link to his personal brand site, link to HVACquote.ai once per article. Because if you link more than once, the juice doesn't pass the second time. And let's make this a little more visually appealing. Bold some key points so it doesn't look like just a wall of text. And let's include some screenshots from the video too, just to kind of spice it up a little bit, where we're pointing at each of the 4 areas. And if you need those screenshots, I can just paste them here for you. So it did some work, it came back, I'm giving it feedback. I never take the first output. We keep tuning it until I'm happy. And when it comes back on the next one, I'm then going to say, please QA it and follow our article guidelines, which you can find on BlitzMetrics. So why do we publish what we do? Because then we can say, go ahead and QA it based on what you know we've published on how we do stuff, right? And so this one's working now too. So you see what's going on? The same framework we're repeating over and over again, where raw content that existed in YouTube or Facebook or wherever, pictures on my phone, all is getting processed and posted and promoted, which I'll show you as the last step. So all of this repurposing, this 4-stage content factory is occurring right now. I've got 2 agents that are working right now. Let's get a third, right? So let's see. This one is not published yet. I think I want to publish it. I'm going to publish it when the article goes live. But you know what? I should probably publish it now because the article will be live in a few minutes once we're done. So fast. I can crank out 6 or 7 articles in an hour. And I'm not even rushing either, right? So let's see. And I can turn all these into articles as well. This is great. We interviewed Damon Burton. He's an investor in our company. That's awesome. Okay. So recorded these videos. You guys understand, right? Raw videos, even stuff that isn't, you know, very good, but it's still here because we can pull snippets out of it. And ChatGPT can actually cut clips out of these videos for you. It'll say it can't, but it can. I've had it do it. And I turned them into playlists. I said, hey, make some playlists. and it did that. And I said, hey, let's make one of these a podcast. The ones that are podcasts, let's do that. There's one video in here, but soon there's going to be more. And even that is getting an extra 487 views or whatever. I mean, every one of these adds up, all these little optimizations add up. And I'm just having my VA do it, as you can see. This VA is just like a $5 an hour VA, like any other VA. It makes the same mistakes. I think of like, do we have any shorts in here? Okay. All right, so I made a video when we were at the conference 2 days ago, and I made it as a reel, and I honored Josh Nelson, who teaches how to do 7-figure agencies, right? And I love doing this because he actually deserves it, and he has 600 clients, I think, for his plumbing HVAC SEO booth, his agency. He doesn't even operate the agency anymore because I don't think he's touched the agency in years. It runs by itself. He has people running it, put a CEO in charge of it. And then he's got a coaching group where he's got thousands of agencies. I speak at his events too, which is great. And look at what happened here, right?
Hey, digital marketing agencies. Let me tell you a secret. Years ago, I saw that there was this guy, Josh Nelson of Plumbing HVAC SEO. In Miami, he was doing this mastermind, and he was teaching everyone for 3 or 4 days straight on how exactly he was able to do SEO.
And I tell his whole story, and it's awesome, right? And then it's the exact opposite of what you think, right? And so Josh Nelson says, oh, thank you so much, right? Wyatt Chambers, big deal in home services and pest control, says that. Sheldon Class, and look, Ray Malasky, these are all people who are big in home services, right? And they're all coming in and commenting and whatnot, right? And I pinged Josh Nelson right when I made that 2-minute video with no prep. I was just walking by through the conference hall, and I saw his booth, and I just got inspired to make a video on the spot, and that's what I did. And I told Josh, hey, I did it as a thing with Marco and me somewhere in here. Where is it? Mandeep. Mandeep runs an agency serving HVAC plumbers and that kind of thing. He doesn't do a very good job. His customers come to us. Where's the one I sent it to Josh? Here, right? So I made this video Monday, 3 days ago. Notice how fast we take action. We need all you guys to take action. Jack Hughes takes action quick. Dylan Haugen takes action quickly. George, for sure, he's a quick action taker. All right, so at first we took a picture in front of his booth. And then I thought, no, I'm going to make a 1-minute video real quick. So I did. And then I left a 11-second voice message, not a 3-minute long thing, which is really irritating. And then Josh Nelson, remember, he's got a ton of agencies. He says, would love to learn more about your quoting estimator tool, right? So this is going to be a great opportunity because when they make videos about it or whatever, we're going to take that video and we're going to promote it. So all these HVAC companies and then all the agencies that serve HVAC companies are going to want to use the tool. Because if you're an HVAC agency and you're running ads, of course you're going to want to have, you want to double the number of clients that you get because there's a quoting tool on the website, right? So all these agencies are going to want to use this tool. The tool is not an agency, it's a tool. You still need the agency unless you have a young adult or use ChatGPT the way we talk about, right? So you see how this is working, and then this is setting up this is teeing up a hole-in-one or whatever you want to call it. This is great. Whatever analogy you want to use, like think of the latent influence here that we can use, right? This guy's got great stories. No one's engaging on any of his stuff. I mean, these are great. I mean, he's got a whole bunch of he's got 176 agencies to $1 million. Wow, that's impressive, right? That's legit. Truly it is, right? Why is no one engaging on it? Because it's not Repurpose, because he hasn't claimed his knowledge panel. And I think I might have introduced Dylan and Josh. You guys need to get together. And then Josh is going to say, oh, thank you so much. Dennis and team, Dylan Haugen got my knowledge panel and blah, blah, blah. And then all these other guys are going to want to work with us. Like no matter where you go, we have that influence. We're just winning. It is just like not even fair. It's like we're the mafia or something, right? Because we know this is the whole influence concentration thing. This is what I was trying to tell George about the podcast and that whole thing. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. Oh, so we're in Atlas. Yeah, we're still in Atlas. Okay. All right, so it's done this, this, and this. I created 3 draft posts inside here. Okay. Now, I didn't even look at these posts yet because we were busy doing something else. Go ahead and hit publish on those draft articles. And I also want you to QA your work. I want you to look at the BlitzMetrics blog guidelines on what makes a good blog, a good article, and run those points against the article that you wrote and go ahead and fix them for me. Don't rely upon me to QA your stuff. You are an intelligent article writer. You know what to do and you are proactive. You're a great journalist. And then you're going to come back to me and let me know what the status is on what you've done and what you've not done. Notice what I did there? You would do that with a human employee too. You tell them you're great, you're amazing, because you are. You're just like Perry Marshall. You're just like whatever. And now it's going to do the work and it's writing these articles, right? Now, this is on a site that has no power on ajwilcox.com. So we need to give him some juice, don't we? Because this site has, I just showed you. Here, I'll go back here. Thing's got no juice, got no traffic. It's sort of, people, he bought his name just to protect his name, but there's nothing going on here. Okay. There's no traffic, doesn't rank on anything. Right. So I'll just say, and I'm in Chrome, so I can't activate the agent. I can come back here to Atlas. And I'll say, AJ and I have done a lot of stuff over the years. There's a ton of articles and videos of him and I. We've spoken at conferences in Vegas and Boston and Utah. He's invited me to speak at conferences. We've done a lot of training together. He's even taught here in office hours several times just to show people how to use LinkedIn ads because I think he's really amazing. I even saw him last week in Utah. And I was at his house and they made some food and his wife was awesome. I hadn't seen his wife for 5 years, but it was still so cool. So maybe look at where we have content together. Ideally, it's posted on blitzmetrics.com and dennisu.com and other places. And I want you to strategically link to his personal brand site, ajwilcox.com, from any of the articles that I've already written about him. And that way, we're able to pass him some juice in a very legitimate way because it's an in-body link, because it's contextual inside these articles. So think hard, go find those things. Give me a list of where you can make those links so we can build up his personal brand. And he's already got a knowledge panel, but of course we want to increase the citation score and get more visibility and get more clients and that kind of thing. And this is where a human can't do a very good job at this. This is where the AI beats the human because the AI can go through all that stuff. Okay. Watch it go through all that stuff. I'm not even in the right tab and it's doing it. Okay. Meanwhile, this one's working, right? It's fixing these things. This one, oh, I think I wrote an article about him. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Let's see. I don't know. I don't remember. Sometimes I don't remember. So I'll come over here and like, hey, I think I wrote a featured article about AJ Wilcox and how he's the #1 guy in LinkedIn ads and all the reasons why he's actually #1 instead of just saying he's #1. Can you go find that? Because I want to enhance that article if there is one. And if there isn't, let's write an article. Because I want to write an article about everybody that I admire, whether they're paying us money or not. So now I got another one working. This one's working, right? It's following my guidelines. This one's working. Now I can even come to LinkedIn, and this is where I advise not to do stuff, but I'll do it for you just to show you what not to do, okay? This is what's going to get you in trouble. So let's just say, don't do this. I've been posting on LinkedIn and I get a lot of these comments. Can you look at my last 5 or 6 posts on LinkedIn and respond to people who have commented. Just whoever they are, respond. Obviously, don't argue. Say something meaningful. Don't make it look like some VA saying, "Oh, thank you so much for the comment." Say something that actually has some intelligence. Don't endorse anybody unless they're actually a friend and we want to lend our credence to them. But I'm too lazy to go respond to all of these comments. In fact, the people who the way you can tell if they have some credence is if we have a message thread together and if we have a lot of mutual friends. You can decide what that number is, what determines a large number of mutual friends. Okay. Now, there's some people that are using the AI, this Atlas with agent mode to just do everything, like make friend requests and comment. And like, I think that you shouldn't do that because it's right on the verge of spammy activity. But you can do a little bit. You can, while you're crafting something, say, hey, how should I respond to this guy? Right. So this one's working, this other one's working. Meanwhile, I've got all of these ones that I can turn into videos, turn into ads, repurpose to Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, all that kind of stuff, right? Articles, right? And it's doing this stuff, right? So you guys understand we're doing all this stuff. And then what it doesn't know, and we don't have a great answer to this yet so far. So this is AJ Wilcox, tagged with AJ Wilcox, because Google's AI automatically does the facial recognition and location and activity and all that kind of stuff. And here we are in Utah making some videos prior to speaking at some big conference. We're at Social Media Marketing World in San Diego. This is Natalie. He runs social media at Netflix now, I think. She ran it at Snapchat. She's one of my favorite mentees. Not many female mentees, but she's one of my favorite ones. I brought her to Australia, all these places, right? Hiking. This guy, he's a big boy, but he will take you on a 5-hour hike and try to get you tired. There's me and Daryl Eves. Daryl Eves runs Vid Summit. It's a big video conference for all the creators. So it's Daryl, me, and Fat Dennis, Fat AJ, and Fat Daryl. What a shame. So we can use all this stuff. Now, ChatGPT can see this here, but it can't, as of now, download and upload. So we have to actually upload it and download it for it, which is sort of, this is where maybe we still need some $3 an hour VAs. Okay. Just to like handle file management stuff. And then say, just go ahead and sprinkle this into the article, right? And why do we do that? Because all the stuff of real experience, real people, this first phase in purple, all of this stuff can be used to enhance existing content that we have and make it more powerful. We can link between existing content. Like I said, hey, I've written articles about AJ. Why don't you go ahead and, do all this stuff? Okay. Yeah, okay. So I found some stuff. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Well, I'd like you to do a couple things. One, because now we have access to his personal brand website. He just gave it to us. I want you to link on his name and, pass him juice because he's a DR5 and, we can easily get him up to like a 20 or 30 with all the juice that we have. And yeah, do that on these 2 articles. Where you think we can improve these articles, let's improve them as well. In fact, you don't even need to ask me for permission. There's so much stuff that he's written, and he and I have tagged each other kind of gratuitously, where he tags me on Google and Facebook ads, and I tag him when people have a LinkedIn ads question. You can see that on LinkedIn and other places. Just go ahead and enhance these, because that second article, Definitive Guide to Creating Content, Influence and Authority, that was 2 years ago. So certainly there's a lot more stuff that has happened in the last couple of years. So just go to town on that. You don't need to ask me for permission in advance for every single thing you want to do. Just go do it. Tell me after the fact, and I'll tell you if you need to adjust it. Okay. You guys see the picture? Now I got 4 of them that are all going at the same time. See the little bouncing cursor thing? This is doing the HVAC quote articles. What is it, like 3 articles here it's doing? Oh, this is the one main article. This one, it's going to go comment on stuff. This one's working on those draft articles, which we will QA in a minute. So you see how you can just go to town and have like 5 VAs working at the same time. I've gotten up to 6 or 7, past 6. I think ChatGPT gets mad at you because like, oh, you have too many agents going on at the same time. So you put too much food on your plate at the buffet. You can only have one plate at a time. You know, they get mad at you. So well, let's just let that work for now. All right, now let me show you my favorite little secret. I was showing you that people are engaging on these. They actually are watching these YouTube videos. I mean, look at the analytics on these. The watch time, 1,300 hours. We're getting 10 more. We just hit 1,000 subs. Look, we're like 1,005 subs. We gained 5 subs in the last hour since we've been talking. That's cool, right? So if the content is good, people are going to stay around and watch. 8 minutes, 12 minutes, 31 seconds. Well, this is only, see, I repurposed this video from Facebook also to YouTube and into an article as well, by the way. You can see how that can be done. All of these get repurposed into articles. They all get repurposed, right? In every channel. And what I notice is that if something is winning, the whole idea of MAA is whatever is doing well, make it better, right? 80-20, no, 95-5. Don't keep trying to do new stuff to make the best stuff better. So when I see that certain things, like owning your own name, that needs to be turned into an article, which I think Dylan Haugen is doing at some point. If not, I'll just do it real quick. Turn it to an article, right? You saw me just do it already, 3 or 4 articles. It takes more time to chase people than it does to do it. As you see right here, I'm doing it. I'm not saying you can do it. I did it today. You saw me. And then we can boost these videos, which is what we call dollar a day. I've spent $1 billion on Google and Facebook and all that, and I'm going to show you how to do it right here. So when we have content that we think is pretty good based on the analytics, we can promote it. So this one, how it's impossible to do SEO. Okay, here it is. Let's go to that video. And you can see
AI.
this is completely organic. 124 views, right? We got a few more views in the last few minutes. People are commenting. I could tell ChatGPT, please comment on, you know, whatever you saw, right? I'm not going to waste time to show you that because you know how to do that. But there's this promote button. So you can boost this post. You can choose more subs, and it will get you a lot of subs for cheap, but that doesn't give you, you want people to subscribe because they actually love your content. So go for video views. If it's something driving sales to a landing page, you can choose this one, but I think video views is the best one because that's the most, like boosting should almost always be for that kind of engagement. And I just keep it as it is. And then I keep it to the United States. Advanced targeting, I always open this up. Now this is for home services. So I don't have to uncheck the gender because it's already all dudes. But you know, we want a mix of young adults to learn how to do the stuff, the ones who are using the tools, and then, you know, these other people could hire the young adults. So I don't mean to age discriminate, but if you're older than me, you probably aren't going to understand any of this. So I'm not going to waste time trying to show you all this. Okay. So there's that. And then we set a budget. And I'll just put $20 and I'll let it go for today's the day before Halloween. Let it go for like 21 days. So this is technically about $1 a day. And it's estimating 169.20. Let's call it 500. 500 views for $20 is 4 cents a view. Is that any good? Hey, I'll ask you guys, is that any good? 4 or 5 cents a view? Is that good or bad? How do you tell? There, and it's done. How long did it take to run that ad? How do you know if that's any good? If they stay around and watch, that's how you tell. So let's look at how some of this has done. So this one, HVAC companies. HVAC companies, stop wasting your money on, you know, this and that. So, yeah, stop losing customers. Show your prices, right? And we're sending them to this landing page. Go.HVAC quote, which is they sign up for a demo, right? Pretty simple. And spent $24 on it in the last 2 days because we made this video 2 days ago. At 1 a.m., we were tired, like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. No, we're gonna do it now. And that's what, and Marco and I are like, do it now kinds of guys. And that's how, that's literally what's going on, okay? So to see how the content's working, you'd think that they would show you the stats in the promo tab. You actually have to come over here to videos and then come in here and then click here on the analytics thing here. It's crazy. Like they don't make it easy. You have to know where to click to find the stuff. You can see it's unlisted. So all the views here, all 5,000 views here are off of the ad, which then drive sharing. So the true number is actually a little higher than that. Watch this. This is like the big ta-da. You've been waiting this whole time for me to show you this. Watch this. 4,000 views in the last 2 days. And remember, this video is 1:36. The average view is 1:01. So people watch 2/3 of it. What did we do in the beginning? HVAC companies, you're bleeding customers because you're not showing the price online. Customers are leaving. They want to know the price. All these 100 customers, 100 HVAC companies have already signed up for our tool, and they're happy. And here's example after example after example. So First Choice Mechanical did $1.5 million in the last 90 days using our tool. And they're very happy. And we connected the CRM. We can see how many. I'm basically repeating what's inside the video, right? So if you're an HVAC company, you need to check this out. Click on the link below and get a demo. We'll show you how. Let's look at your data. See how much business you're losing, right? So if you're not an HVAC company, why would you continue to watch this thing? If you're a roofer, if you're a landscaper, hey, landscapers, here's the problem. Here's, I'm going to rub the salt into the wound real deep to demonstrate I understand the problem. And here's some people that we've done it for 100+ HVAC companies, blah, blah, blah. We have a solution. It's month to month. It's $350 a month. You would be silly not to try this, right? Of course, they're going to listen to this thing because we're very specific. It's goals, content, and targeting. You can't give this to a random VA because they don't understand the goals, content, and targeting, right? So let me ask you. So I want you guys to unmute. Tell me, why is there no targeting here? I literally just targeted anybody. Why is there no targeting? Yet how are people watching for a whole minute? What's going on here?
Because the algorithm does the targeting for you.
Ding, 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 ding. So if the algorithm does the targeting, then what do we need to do?
Make it for HVAC companies.
Yeah, make it obviously for HVAC companies. Because if I say, hey, are you a local business? You could be a plumber or a gardener or a real estate agent or this one or that one or a chiropractor. They're like, this is not for me. This is like, whatever. But it's like HVAC companies. Oh, crap, that's me. Yeah, HVAC companies. Yeah, here's a problem you have. And we have solved it for lots of people. Not just like, here's the solution. We have credibility and authority because we have solved this problem, right? And if you're not sure, look at what these other people have to say. Who are the people you respect at the conference, right? Look. Oh, you do LinkedIn ads? Oh, look, I'm good buddies with AJ Wilcox. We go hiking on the mountain, right? All this kind of stuff. So then the authority comes in because you can see we're hanging out with all these other people, right? You're like, well, Tommy Mello and David Carroll and these other people are friends with them. So Marco got 100 paying customers in the first 100 days, more than all these other guys that raised millions of dollars, like these guys. Let's clown on them for a little bit, right? And no one's even at their booth. It's hilarious. So he made a bunch of these videos, put them on Facebook, just like we show you with the AI ads and whatever it is. So watch this. HVAC quote. He ranks #1 on HVAC quote according to Ahrefs data. All right, how do you know who's running ads? You can use the ads library. You can go to the About section, go to Page Transparency, and see the ads that are running. Where's the ads? It shows ads. Goes here. See, this is how you get to someone's ads from their page. You guys know that, right? And you can see that this is, like, he interviewed this guy, Joe Crisara, who's super well known in the world of HVAC. This is the #1 training guy. And, ran this and ran this. Look at this one. HVAC businesses, stop hiding your price. You saw we made this video just 3 days ago. It's already an ad. It's already an article. It's already generating leads. It's on Facebook and it's on YouTube. It is booking these calls. Now, when he first started, he had the cost per lead was like $20. It was great, right? per book demo. And then like half of the people would show up for a demo. So it was $40 to give an HVAC company a demo of the tool. And then, half the people would sign up. So, the math was really good. But then the last month, the show up rate on people who would, they'd watch the ad and they like, oh, this is interesting. And then they'd fill out the form to book a demo. 80% of the people would no show for the demo. So Marco would complain to me. He would say, Jack, you got to reply to your text, dude. So Marco would say to me, hey, the no-show rate is so high. And he'd say like oh, 20% are showing up and all this. Like, you can see this. We're constantly talking about what's going on here, right? And where is it? Where is it? He's like, he's 20% of showing up. It's the cost per lead is high. He's not hitting the monthly number on because he wants to grow. He wants to hit 1,000 customers by the end of next year, right? And so he's not going to hit that number because people don't show up to look. This is him and Lance Bachman. This is the number one guy in roofing. George probably knows who this is, Lance Bachman, right? If you're in roofing, you know who this guy is, right? Look at this. This shows the revenue that they're doing. This is one of his roofing companies. What is this? $18 million per quarter? How do I zoom in on this? Zoom. Look at this dashboard here. Isn't that crazy? Service Titan. He's so like, he's putting his numbers for everyone in the office to see. Wow. How's that for being a G, huh? If you're not an alpha male, you walk into the office and it shows all your numbers for each of the companies. This guy owns like 5 roofing companies. He's putting the numbers on the screen. How boss is that? Anyway. So 50 million in roofing. Dude runs this thing like a military camp. I know he does. Here's the office. And then he was with Lance in the morning and they did like a 5 a.m. cold plunge. This is his house. Went to his house and did a 5 a.m. cold plunge and does the ridiculous. This guy. Yeah, hanging having dinner with Lance. I'm not going to glaze on Lance. Okay. So what am I saying here? So 80% of people didn't show up to the call. They were interested. They saw the video like, oh, this is okay. Yeah, sure. The HVAC quote online. Sure. Okay. But 80% didn't show up. Why not? Because there was not enough trust and authority. Now, if it was Tommy Mello, you're not going to 80% no show when Tommy Mello comes to your meeting, right? So all this stuff with trust and authority where we're showing who we're connected to and we're showing like, oh, this is one of our clients and here's another guy and here's these other people. Now, if all these videos, this is what Marco did before. I told him not to do it, but he did it anyway. These are all sales bro videos. Hey, are you an HVAC company? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, great. That's the drive of the demo, but you didn't build any top and mid funnel content to demonstrate that you're trustworthy and all that. See, look, this is a bro video. Look at his bro video.
Steroids for your HVAC business. Introducing instant online quote tool for HVAC companies.
No, that's terrible. And he got a flag in the background. Even though I don't think he was born in America, I think he was born in Finland.
HVAC contractors, are you tired of wasting?
That's a bro video. Another bro video.
In today's world, homeowners want prices.
In today's world, AI wrote that. More bro videos. Oh, here's a real. Oh, there's Roger Wakefield. All right, that's cool. Oops, that went to his landing page to book a thing. Now I'm ruining his stats. Okay. So there's all these bro videos. Hey, check out our instant quote tool. Hey, here's a client and they're making more money. More bros and bros and bros. So many bro videos. Where's your mid-funnel content? Where's the trust and authority? Where is it showing that, hey, I'm with Lance Bachman. Hey, I'm with Tommy. Hey, there's so-and-so on my podcast. Well, that's where YouTube comes in. That's where you're sharing your knowledge. That's where you're boosting this. So the biggest benefit to us creating mid-funnel content is it helps our conversion ads do better. The click-through rate, the conversion rate, the show-up rate to the call is better. You see what I'm saying here? This is what people don't understand. The bros just want to drive sales right away. They're like, one-click hookers, basically. They just want the conversion on the first, have sex on the first date. Like, who are you? So as Jack mentioned, either Jack, we have multiple Jacks here, this content, because it's calling out who it is, it's creating real value. We have a lot of podcast kind of content. It's repurposed to other articles and all this. Let's see, what did it do? Yeah. Okay, that's good. Yeah, I see it. It's like, it's so timid. It really is like a Filipino VA. So I'll just go in the agent mode. Yeah, please go ahead and do all of it. Go ahead and edit those 8 posts. Go ahead and all these things that you mentioned, these 10, 11 things you mentioned, do them. And then come back to me and let me know what you did and what you didn't do. But if you can do it, just go do it. You don't have to ask my permission. Just do it. Right? So now it's doing it. And then I can give it more pictures and videos because I can give it access to this other stuff in here, right? So we've started building out Marco's site. And you can see in this library, we have these photos and videos. Oh, look, there's him and Gary Vaynerchuk. Oh, there's him and this client. Oh, we're playing pickleball. Actually, we were holding the pickleball racket, but I didn't actually play. Jack and I were that was the first time I actually played pickleball. Yeah, a couple of weeks ago. I think I beat you. So you just letting the old man win. I know. I'm good at table tennis and I let people beat me, even though I actually can crush them. I'm Chinese. It's not fair. So here he's speaking at these conferences. And so we're injecting these. We're taking all this stuff. This is where a VA, we probably need a VA to do this. So we have so many of these things. So we just need a VA until we can figure out how to do this in a programmatic way. Sometimes it's better just to use a $3 an hour VA. Okay. Because I mean, yeah, we could try to figure out how to automate it, but it's like, whatever. It's not worth it. You don't want to try to automate everything. You know, so then this then comes in. You can see like, hey, here's some more. Hey, update the article. You can see like I told it to write some articles last night. It made 3 or 4 articles, and I said, here's some pictures. And it said like, yep, okay, I'm having trouble uploading it, so I'm uploading it, and then it's doing it, and you know what I'm saying? So all I'm doing is just trying to get everything through these 4 stages. But where everyone is all goofed up is they don't even have stage 1 because they're so busy, you know, red squirrel, whatever, red ball, what is it? The shiny red object. They're so AI enamored and hyped up. They don't even realize the most important thing is get all this real proof that you actually do the job, that you actually know everybody, that you're actually sharing your expertise, that you're meeting these people, Zoom calls, whatever, however you're meeting these people. In person's obviously better. And then I just demonstrated today how to process, post, and promote. One last thing I'll show you, and then I want to hear what you guys have to think. So on the HVAC quote channel, I posted the videos, I cross-posted to my thing as well as his thing. So if you interview somebody, then you can invite someone as a collaborator to that video, right? Because by definition, a podcast, it can be their thing, it can be our thing. So I posted here there's only a couple videos because we only just started this thing like 2 days ago. And so you can invite someone as a collaborator. And then I went ahead and I promoted. So the first video is this one. Hey, are you an HVAC company? You know, this one that's like 1:30 like you saw, right? People are watching for a minute. It's legit. Then I forgot, because it's been so long, I wanted to make it so that anyone who watches this first video, hey, you're an HVAC company, blah, 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 right? And then we know this works from the data in the last 48 hours. Then they come in and they book a call, right? They come in, click the link, and they put their info in and they book an appointment, right? But then I showed you the problem was they don't show up to the call. 80% of them don't show up. So what I want to do is remarket. So anyone who's watched this first video, I want to show them this second video. So they see the trust, they see that we're legit, they see we're at the conference, they see like all this. And the person they're going to have the demo with is not Marco. They're going to have the demo with this Alex girl. When you go to a Gordon Ramsay restaurant, Gordon Ramsay is not serving you the food, okay? It's going to be someone else. And so this is the someone else they're going to meet. And so I interviewed her intentionally, saying, hey, Alex, you're the most knowledgeable person in quotes in HVAC. Explain this, this, and that, right? And so she goes in and explains the whole thing. Look at this. This is a surprise. So when you look at how this video performed, this is a nobody. She's not known by anybody, right? She's the one who answers she does the demo. She's a fantastic salesperson, right? She closes deals. You got to give her full credit on all that. Look at what's going on here in this video that we're promoting. Of course, it's coming through ads, right? Average view duration, 2 minutes and 32 seconds. Wow. What is going on here? And this wasn't just like 2 people saw it. This is a lot of people saw it, right? So this is building a ton of trust. So they've seen her, you know, they watched some videos of me and Marco and these other people, and then we get retargeted. They get retargeted to see that next one, and then they're going to show up to the call, because when they show up to the call and they see her, like you get celebrity struck. It's like, oh, she's the one in the video. I'm talking to her. She's not some random person. And so this is the whole point that we're doing a local service spotlight running $1 a day. So when we make someone a celebrity in their neighborhood, Jack Wentz should know this, but he stepped away. Then when people see that contractor or they see the team member, it doesn't have to be the business owner, then they get that celebrity effect. Because like, oh, I saw you climbing trees. I saw you doing the roof. I saw you doing these things, right? And so they think you're a celebrity because they've seen your videos and all this. And all I did was I boosted this video and I said a remarketing thing. Now, the remarketing can only occur inside Google Ads. So I forgot how to do that. So I said, ChatGPT, please, I literally said, please set up remarketing so anyone who watches this video can watch this other video. And it said, okay, do you want me to do this? And I said, yes, took over the screen, and it set up this Google Ads account for sequencing, right? It built it for me. It clicked here, it clicked there. I forgot where to click to set up YouTube remarketing audiences. Do you guys know where? Do you remember where? I don't remember where. So it did it. Great. I didn't have to know anything. I just wanted it to do it. I said, do it. I didn't have to give it any context because I was already here in the thing, and it did it, right? So anyone who doesn't do this, their job's going to be eliminated by someone who is using the AI properly, because now any of us can be 10 times more effective. And while we're talking and I'm showing you this stuff, these VAs are working, right? And technically, we did an hour of training here today, but I was doing this all day and all yesterday. I was working anyway. I was working the whole time. I was just kind of narrating as I was doing it. Maybe you find some value in that, the whole watch Dennis over the shoulder thing. What do you think? What's the big takeaway? I'd love to hear each of you guys. What did you learn from this? What are you going to do based on this?
Simplify task loads.
Okay.
I mean, you have your own private team now.
Yeah. And it gets smarter and smarter.
I did have a question. Do you know when it's coming out for Windows, for the Atlas browser?
And they say soon. They never say when on these things.
Yeah, it made me just sign an email, and then it was like, we'll get back to you.
Just always go Mac. Once you go Mac, you never go back. All right. What do you think, Jack?
One thing that I'm sort of learning, well, number one, Atlas browser is awesome. I thought it was kind of gimmicky when I first heard about it, hearing reviews about it, but it seems like agent mode, but times 50 or something like that. So one thing I want to start focusing on now is really honing in on the produce stage and make sure it's real. A lot of times I have a lot of my scripts were written by AI, still my expertise, but now I'm sort of thinking about maybe just going off no script. It might be poor quality videos, but at least it's me talking, you know. And I also want to start doing more interview type podcasts as well. That's my main goal.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can write articles and tag them, and then they share it. You leverage their influence. You choose the right guest. Their audience is yours.
Yeah, and I didn't know about the promoting YouTube stuff either too, which is pretty fascinating because my YouTube channel has been pretty stagnant for a while.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Also on the YouTube thing, I didn't show you, but you notice that, let me show you this other thing, because I know, Jack, you've got a YouTube and you got a bunch of videos in there. I don't want all you guys to see this. So I asked ChatGPT, can you do an analysis on, you know, what's going on here? So I've spent, you can see $231 across these videos, because it just looked at the screen and did this thing, right? And 4,000 views. So nickel a view. But is it truly a nickel a view or not? What's the true impact? Because if the video is good,
Watch time?
yeah, watch time. So I want to go to this, not the channel, where are we going? Dashboard. Let's go to the overall analytics here. No, where's the
The only thing with watch time is you have to correlate it with views too, because if you only have 2 views and you have 20 minutes, then only 2 people watched it. So I mean, probably one of them were you. That's
Why
one
am
thing
I
with my
not,
videos I've had to deal with.
why am I not able to get to, oh, I'm an HVAC quote. Okay, oops, sorry. Let me go back to the, no, sorry, go back to, let me just show you this one thing. This is something everyone gets wrong. Not HVAC quote. Go to the Dentist U one. Check this out. So yeah, I told it to do the analysis on the ads that I'm running here. Oh, we got another subscriber. Awesome. So we have 25,000 views and 1,300 hours because people are staying around. And so what happens is, okay, fine, we paid a nickel to get them in. But then what happens? If it's any good, they subscribe, they watch other videos, we show up in their feed. So we get this multiplier effect if the content is good. Good meaning high watch time and relevant to who they are. So I got a ton of stuff on home services, right? And I'm interviewing these home services people. So the true cost per view isn't a nickel. And the true number of views that I'm getting isn't just the 4,000, okay? You see what you guys see what I'm saying here? What does this mean? Everyone misses this. Dylan, what does this mean?
I'm sorry, I was actually working on one of the other YouTube videos for the channel.
Fair enough. Okay, Jack went then. What does this mean?
As far as how it said 4,000, like you were saying, is it really a
Yeah.
nickel of view?
So I spent $200 and we got 4,000 views.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's not bad,
Yes.
right? The average view you see is the ad-driven view is that they're staying for 7 minutes. So I'm paying a
Mm-hmm.
nickel and someone's willing to stay. I mean, they stay for a few seconds and then like, oh, this is pretty good. So they stay for 7 minutes on average. That's not bad, right?
I think it's That's great very good. value. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's extremely good value.
And then Jack Hughes, to your point, do you see me scripting anything? Do you see me preparing anything?
Never.
I'm just like today's thing, like right now, our office hours call, I'm just going live, just doing it.
Gotcha.
And people appreciate that more. I was talking with Danny this morning, Lee Brandt, and he said, dude, you don't need to edit. You should just go raw all the time.
Are you saying also to upload the videos raw?
Every one of those, wait, Dylan Haugen, aren't those just raw videos?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes cut off like a second or two off the ends, but yeah, it's really entirely raw.
Makes my job even easier.
Yeah. And so the reason I didn't want to do a YouTube channel is like, oh, I got to hire a video editor. We have to use these video tools. We have to add sound and a thumbnail and music. And like, I don't have time for that. So Danny's like, just upload it raw as it is. Just film it. Don't even prepare. Just talk and then just upload it just like it is. And that's literally what you see. That entire channel is all raw content.
Yeah, it's great. I'm also thinking about, because I had that CBS interview coming that I just had go live. So I'm thinking about a YouTube video I'm going to make for that, or like a podcast, just blasting out everywhere I possibly can to get eyeballs on it. So I'll try that strategy out soon.
Yep. So what do you guys think of today? What do you think,
I
Mr.
really
George?
liked I really liked how you demonstrated like how you show trust through all the different steps of the funnel. I thought that was really interesting, and how your different videos and everything ties together. Um, just when you were showing like how Marco was doing like the sales bro videos compared to what you normally do, and where the YouTube comes in. I think that was really cool.
So his sales bro, like you can't knock him. I mean, he grew his first agency to $3 million a year off of sales bro videos. So you can't say he doesn't know what he's doing. And the second agency, he's grown to $1 million, and his third company is now growing, and Tommy Mello and these guys are investing in it. So you can't knock him, but we're making him more effective, aren't we? Because most people just choose one stage of the funnel. No, you need to know all three. What do you think, George? You're kind of invisible.
Slightly. No, I like it. I think it's just teaching me that I need to get more content out there, and I'm just racking my brain of how to just where to start. I feel like there's a lot of
Where's
variables.
the brain
So,
racking? So how long do you think it took for me and Marco to make all that content you saw? There was a ton of content.
oh, I know it didn't take you guys long, and I know that it's not hard to do. I just like I'm genuinely I don't have any equipment. Like I need at least I don't even have a tripod for like my phone. Like I need
You
to.
have a wait, you're in the Zoom call. I think you have all the equipment you need.
Well, like I want to make like whiteboard videos like you guys. Like I want to draw stuff
Okay.
and
Go buy a $40 whiteboard at Target.
I know that's like
Walmart.
that's my week. My goal for the end of this week was to get one video done and posted in live by the end of the week. So
Do you think the limitation is the whiteboard video or sorry, the equipment or a microphone or something?
no, I don't think that's the limitation. I
Okay.
think the limitation is just myself. Like
Yeah.
I overthink everything, and so I make it more complicated than what it needs to be.
So you recognize there's no actual limitation except you just not doing it for whatever reason.
So yeah, I fully recognize that.
There's
but
no legit reason to not do it.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Just like with Jack Went, there's no legit reason to not do these things.
And now I just see Marco because I know even though me and him do different stuff, it's still I still lean more towards the software side than like the agency side, and so I just see Marco and I'm like, man, I got to do what he's doing.
It has nothing to do with whether you're selling software or agency for whatever, or, parental help stuff. It doesn't matter. The concept of the funnel is the same. And the creation, the whole like real content, real experiences, trust is the same. It doesn't matter what business you have. I know it's like easier. You might think like, okay, Marco's business is closer to my business. Okay, that's true. But the concept's still the same. Gravity, you could be skinny or fat. Gravity's the same thing.
Right.
Yeah. Because ultimately it's people and people are people. What do you think, Dylan Haugen?
I think it's great, and I think what you did with Marco the other day was super impressive. I think a lot of us should be doing that more, especially considering again just how easy it is. Just while we've been doing this, I actually I've used agents like here and there, but I just like decided like I might as well just have them going at all times now. So I just like took a bunch of my YouTube transcripts, threw them in there, having to make a bunch of articles right now because I think one of the biggest things for me, and I think this applies to a lot of people in here as well, is it sounds like everyone's kind of like waiting for like the perfect, stuff to kind of line up before we do things. But I've realized at this point, like I probably have like 25 articles on my website.